Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. Today I want to talk about high-speed web hosting without the expense of a VPS server or a managed server. What we see a lot in the hosting industry is you have customers that come in that are a little bit larger for basic web hosting, but not quite wanting to run their own managed server. And this is one of the reasons why we developed NameHero was this type of customer in mind, someone that doesn't want to manage their own server, even though it is managed. They don't want to have their own managed server. They don't want to have that expense. They just want to have a hosting package that they can upload all their stuff and run their business. And then as they grow, they can add to it. And that's why we developed our reseller packages here. So they're not only for web hosts. Now, yes, we do have thousands of web hosts all over the world that utilize our reseller services to provide web hosting to their clients. Now, on the other side, what a lot of people don't talk about our reseller packages is we have a lot of advertising agencies, a lot of affiliate marketers, and a lot of companies in general that have multiple WordPress sites or have multiple websites and that need hosting, so they buy a reseller package and host them all on there. And so that's what I want to talk about today in this video. I want to talk about why we developed these and kind of how beneficial they are. If you buy your own managed server, it's really beneficial because you have these dedicated resources. At the same time, you not only have to have the expense of a dedicated machine, you also have to go in and buy your own licenses. So if you want to add Lightspeed, for example, you have to pay an extra license for that. If you want to go in and add things like Cloud Linux, that's another licensing fee for that. And not to mention on our reseller servers, is we do quite a bit of security scanning and hardening every day that come all included on our reseller packages. So in this blog post, and you can read through it and get a little bit better of an idea, but what I want to highlight in this video is our features and how you can use our reseller accounts to do a lot more than you can with a basic hosting package. For many years, and I used to recommend clients to, you either go dedicated or VPS or don't go at all, just because a lot of hosting companies such as HostGator, Bluehost, these more discounted web hosts, their reseller packages won't do what NameHero's does. They limit you very much so on the number of connections you can use and the number of how much RAM you can use. And so that's not us. That's what separates us at NameHero, makes us a little bit different. It actually makes us a lot different. So let's go over the main features, and then we'll go a little bit more about what we've included to make this work even better for you. First thing is we only use SSD RAID 10 drives. So they're solid state drives with RAID 10 protection. So this is a lot faster I/O read rate than your traditional SATA hard drives. And this is our entire cloud's built on this. So whether you go with our basic hosting, our reseller, or our managed servers, they all use these same SSD RAID 10 drives. And so that's pretty standard at NameHero. I believe that this is the future of storage, obviously. So we're not going to use traditional SATA hard drives. Web Host Manager and cPanel. So Web Host Manager is basically what web hosts use to provision accounts. And then cPanel is a control panel for each individual domain or website. And so with a reseller account at NameHero, you actually get your own Web Host Manager interface where you can set up unlimited number of domains and accounts. So if you just want to say you have a site and maybe it's your site and you just want to have the cPanel login, you create it in there. Let's say you have a client or maybe another website that you want to create its own cPanel, you would do it inside a Web Host Manager, and that's included. And once again, you can host unlimited accounts. There's not a limit of cPanel accounts that you can create. The only thing you're limited on is your disk space and bandwidth, and we'll cover that as we go a little bit further down. Maria database. This is much faster than traditional MySQL, and it's a MySQL drop-in replacement. So if you're using software or you are coding with MySQL and you need to have that, Maria is the same thing, meaning you can use the same code and it's a drop-in replacement though, and it's just a lot faster. It's optimized much better, and we just see sites that load a lot quicker on it. So if you're using WordPress, for example, you'll notice a big speed increase with just the database being Maria. Lightspeed Web Server, this is, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but it's 9 times faster than traditional Apache web servers. So if you go to, for instance, HostGator, if you go to Bluehost, they're going to be using Apache. So right off the bat, Lightspeed is 9 times faster than Apache. And so that's the only web server we use. And it's also a drop-in replacement for Apache. So you don't have to worry about changing up your htaccess or any certain configurations or codes. It operates in the same manner, but it's just a lot faster and more lightweight. There is an additional fee to that if you have your own managed server, but it's included for free with our reseller. Nightly backups. We back up our reseller servers twice every night. Once is an offsite location, and the other time is in the same data center, but we actually image the server. So there's 2 different points. Now, if you need to restore your data, you don't have to call us. You don't have to submit a ticket. You can easily do it through your cPanel. So that's a lot of clients really like this because they don't have to hassle and worry about us. They can just go to their cPanel and do a restore. If you click this link in the blog post, I link out to a video that shows you exactly how to do that, how you would actually restore an email account, a database, or an entire site, or an individual file. So that's a really big bonus. And if you get a managed server, that doesn't come with it. That would be something additional that you would have to set up or configure. With the reseller, it's all included. Okay, so that's our core features, and that's the reason why so many people, or that's the reason why our reseller packages have gotten so popular. Over the last 12 months, we've had enormous growth of people that have came to get these packages, and I believe that our core features are kind of what sets us apart from your HostGators and your Bluehost and your other big name brand hosts that are out there. So if we look at the bonus features, these are also very popular, and some web hosts will charge a premium for these, but we include them all with our accounts. So any reseller account you get or any basic hosting account you get is going to have this stuff. So first is Cloudflare that's integrated with their Railgun. So you're probably familiar with Cloudflare as they're really popular. Is they manage your sites on a DNS level, and so they cache your static files, they compress your images, and they speed it up in general. But they also have a feature called Railgun, and Railgun basically distributes your content to data centers around the world, so the visitor will access the data center that is closest to them. So if your website's based in the United States and a visitor comes from the United Kingdom, well, it's going to actually pull the files for your site out of the United Kingdom data center, which has it cached. So you can order this directly at Cloudflare, but it's only with their business accounts, and it starts at $200 a month. Now, this is all installed and pre-configured on NameHero included. And you can click on this link if you want to know a little bit more about how it can increase your load time by up to 200%. And it includes some case studies that Cloudflare has done. But some people ask us, like, how is that possible that Cloudflare offers that for $200 a month, but you guys can offer it for free? Well, we have a partnership with Cloudflare, and we're one of their verified partners, and that's just one of the benefits. We could charge for this. We could charge $100 a month for it. We could charge $200 a month for it, but we include it with our reseller accounts. So it's just, it's a way that you can really maximize your savings and, really keep things loading fast. The next thing is SSL. Up until now, and still a lot of web hosts out there, they charge for SSL certificates. So if you want to have HTTPS on your website, you have to buy a certificate, which the cheap ones are maybe $20 a year, and then it goes on up from there, anywhere to $200 a year, sometimes in the thousands, depending on the certificate you purchase. At Cloudflare, for instance, you have to have a pro site or a pro account, which is $20 a month per domain to have the SSL certificate. At NameHero, it's free. All domains and subdomains will have an SSL certificate installed automatically for free. Every day, our server runs a script that goes through and scans all the domains and subdomains and makes sure that it has an active and valid SSL certificate. Free. There's no extra cost. We're integrated with the project called Let's Encrypt, and it's to make a safer and more secure internet for everyone. And we strongly believe in that at NameHero. Is we want your site to be secure, and we don't want to charge you extra for it. So that's another big selling point, because going out and getting SSL for 10 sites used to be really expensive. Now it's free, and not only is it free, it's automatic. You don't have to install anything. It just runs. It just works, and that's the way things should be, right? Next is our one-click WordPress install, and you see a lot of this. Most web hosts do have this. But we have it in every cPanel. As long as when you set up the site, all you have to do is log into the cPanel, click WordPress, and install. You can click on that link if you want to watch a video, but you don't have to FTP in. You don't have to create a database. You don't have to go chmode stuff. You don't have to go change. You don't have to go do all that stuff. You just one click and it's done. Next is multiple PHP versions. We see a lot of clients that come in, and our developer community is wonderful. But some developers, when they're developing a script, a lot of them want to go play around with PHP 7 because it's so popular. But unfortunately, a lot of other web hosts, they just have one version on their server and you have to use it. Well, not at NameHero. You can use anywhere from, I think it's 5.1 all the way up to 7, and you just select this inside a cPanel, which one you want to use, and then it'll use it. And also, if you need extra extensions, I know some scripts, they require that you install SOAP or an extra PHP extension. And previously, you had to go submit a ticket to a web host and have them install this, and it was a big pain in the butt. Well, not at NameHero. You just go in your cPanel, you click on PHP selector, and then you can select the PHP version, your extensions, and manage your upload limits. If you've ever been in WordPress trying to upload a file and it says file too large, you know how big of a pain in the butt that can be. Is you used to have to go to your web host and say, hey, can you increase this? Or you had to go create a custom PHP any file. It was a really big pain in the butt, but not at NameHero. You just log into cPanel and you manage all your PHP from there. You can also click on this link and watch a video how to do that. And it's very simple and it doesn't take much time. So these are our bonus features. And like I said, these are features you typically see other web hosts charge a premium for, or you have to order extra, and it just becomes really expensive. Well, not at NameHero. So you get the bonus features, and then you get all the top features, and it all comes in our reseller accounts. Now, finally, is our limits per cPanel account. Now, this is big because a lot of people ask on our live chat, especially when they're doing pre-sales, what are your limits? What's your limits? Well, okay, here they are. So first off is disk space. And we talked about this kind of at the beginning of the video. When you purchase a reseller account, you're allocated so much disk space for the entire account. So you can have unlimited cPanels inside of that, but it goes off of this disk space and the actual usage. So you're not billed for what you allocate, you're billed for what you actually use. So I think it starts anywhere from 10 gigabytes and then goes on up from there with our hosting. So that's each account is allocated from that, and so it kind of chips away at it. Same with bandwidth. The bandwidth comes for your overall reseller account, then each sub account kind of chips off that usage. And then that's why we have different reseller packages, and I'll display those at the end. So you can upgrade those if you need, or you can even downgrade if you figure, well, I'm not using all the space or bandwidth, so I'm going to downgrade. Virtual memory, this is static, and this is each cPanel account can use up to 2,048 megabytes at any given time, and that equals out to about 2 gigabytes. So that's how much virtual memory you have, and physical memory is the same. So that's how much RAM, so to speak, that you can use. Now, if you have some programs that eat this up quickly, then we have to talk and upgrade your account, and we'll get to upgrading in a second. But this is a large number. A lot of web hosts, excuse me, even a lot of VPS providers, they'll only give you 500 megabytes of RAM for $30 a month. They're not going to give you a whole lot unless you pay $100 or more. Well, you're getting this per cPanel account. So you have your core reseller account, then you create a website in your cPanel that's for that account only. So each account you create has access to that amount of memory and RAM. So again, that's another big selling point at NameHero is we are very generous with our resources per account. Concurrent connections, this is the number of concurrent connections into that one account. And so that's set to 50. If that gets more, if you start getting high traffic, then we have to talk about upgrading, which again, we'll get to in a second. But 50, that should get you well on your way. And this is any given second. So this isn't, for the day or for the hour. This is like any given second, this traffic that's coming in. So you can see that would have to be a really lot to get that each second and start hitting that limit. Number of processes is 100. You shouldn't run into any issues like that. If you have software that is, then you might need to be looking at a managed server, but this should get you going. Same with our I/O limits and I/O operations per second. We're very flexible on what we allow on reading and writing the hard drive and the SSD drive, so they're going to be extremely quick already. So again, we're fairly generous with these limits. Finally is the inode limit. I know we get some customers that come over from some of the discount web hosts such as HostGator and Bluehost, and they don't like that they limit the inodes. The inodes is the number of files in your account. It's not the actual disk space. So really, you can save a lot of space by just making sure you clean up your emails. because an email is a file. And so if you have a lot of spam emails or a lot of archived emails, then that might take up a lot of your file space. And this is per cPanel account. So this isn't for your whole reseller account. This is per cPanel account. So really, I say it's soft because 100,000 files is a soft limit. Once you reach that, you're going to start getting notices that you need to start looking at cleaning up. 250,000 is a hard limit, meaning once you reach 250,000 files, then you have to delete some to add some more. It won't be able to accept email or add any more files. Again, these are very generous limits. If you go over that limit, then again, we'll talk about upgrading. So that's our limits, our actual physical limits. And if that doesn't make a lot of sense to you, if you're not a technical person, I'll tell you, they're pretty generous, especially for the price you're paying. And again, we'll get into the frequently asked questions about what happens if you reach those limits. So let's talk about that. If you reach any of these limits, we handle it on a case-by-case basis. First, what we'll do is we'll reach out to you, or you can reach out to us, and we'll say, okay, well, we can upgrade your package. And this may be a package that's on the site, or maybe it's got to be a custom package. Worst case scenario is we have to upgrade to a managed server. It doesn't matter either way. We're going to handle all the data moving for you, so you don't have to worry about re-signing up or anything like that. All you have to do is handle the price difference in upgrading it. Sometimes if the account is just hitting one of these limits, we can just upgrade the package overall and increase the limit for that account or for all your cPanel accounts. So it's just on a case-by-case basis. Now the cool thing is your site's not going to crash and it's not going to go offline if you use up your resources. If you start hogging up all this memory, let's say you get featured on Reddit, or you get a Facebook share that gets goes viral, and you get tons of hits to your site. Well, we're not going to take your site offline. It's not going to crash. What will happen is if these resource limits start getting hit, is the visitors that are over that limit will begin to see a message, an error message that says, hey, this site's unavailable because of a resource limit. At that point, you can reach out to our support team and we can figure out what we can do to make it work for you. We're on the cloud. We're on a cloud. So we can scale up. It's just a matter of upgrading your account or upgrading your package to what works. So you're not going to go offline. The server's not going to get laggy. That's all not going to happen. It's not going to go crashing down. You're going to be able to use the resources you've paid for. But if you need more, then we're just going to have to upgrade the account a little bit. What type of uptime do you provide? It's so unfortunate that guys like HostGator and Bluehost have such issues with staying online. We very rarely go offline. That used to be the rule of thumb. Don't buy shared hosting or don't buy reseller hosting because it goes offline. Not at NameHero. We've designed and developed our systems, and we spent a lot of money to do this. So they're very dependable. And you can click on one of these reports here, and you can see that we very, very rarely go down. This is data compiled since April. This specific report. And you can see there's a couple hiccups, and that's with any network, but 99.98% uptime. So a total of, if you add all that time together, that's 1 hour and 7 minutes, since April. And that's pretty freaking good. Those outages are simple upgrades and reboots, just when we're increasing the software. And the average response times, we have a fast solution here, and we want to let you know that. So we're being transparent by sharing this pingdom report with you for one of our systems. If you want to see more, feel free to reach out. I would love to share that information with you because I want to show you we're not like the other guys. We don't go down. We hate downtime. Do you allow adult content? No. Absolutely not. If you need to host adult content or content that can be considered adult in nature, not limited to drugs, pornographic material, videos, stuff like that, we don't allow it. So don't even try it because we'll unfortunately have to shut you down. And not unfortunately, but we just have to shut you down because we don't allow it. So don't bring that stuff over to us. Can you run click trackers? This is a big question we get, is these self-hosted click tracking softwares that they're really popular amongst affiliate marketers. iMobiTrax, Prosper 202, CPV Lab. Yes, we can host those. And before, a lot of companies would say, no, I'm a shared host. We can't host that stuff. We can host it. You just have your limits here. And so once you start reaching these, then we have to talk about upgrading to a VPS, upgrading to maybe even a dedicated. But until you hit these limits, you can still use these. So yes, we can host them, no problem, but within limits. A Revive ad server is another big one that can use a lot of resources. So again, we can use it, and then stuff's not going to lag or crash. You're just going to get some errors if you start reaching these, and then we can upgrade from there. Do you provide SSH access? No, we do not on our shared or basic hosting. No SSH, period. We consider that a grave security threat by letting someone in on the command line, so we just don't. So if you do need SSH access, which most people don't, you're going to have to get your own managed server. And there's just really, it's a security thing, and it was my call to make that, and we just don't allow it. I don't see any reason why you would need SSH access for this type of an account, unless you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Pretty much, if you really need it and you're that hardcore of a developer, then buying a managed server for $49-$50 a month should be no problem for you, and that's just kind of how that goes. But we just don't offer it on these. Can you have a dedicated IP address? Absolutely, as long as you're not sending out spam email. And I'm going to tell you, before you even get started, I can spot that stuff. I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I know how to spot an email spammer. I know the fake sites you create. I know what they look like and all that. So you can have a dedicated IP address. We don't really limit the amount of IP addresses you can have to your account, but you have to use them for a good reason. So you have to submit a ticket to us and say, hey, I need another IP. You can buy one, really no questions asked, as long as you're not spamming, of course. But if you need more than that, we can, of course, assign those. And they're $29.95 a year currently. This might go up or down based on the supply and demand chain. But, we have no problem letting you have as many IPs as you need, as long as they're used for good and legitimate reasons. Like I said, don't even try spam, because you'll get frustrated because we're going to catch you. So that kind of covers some of the frequently asked questions. Displays the limits, the bonus features, and the top features. Now let's go take a look at the packages really quick. So you can click here and you can look at what we're talking about now when we talk about price. We start off at $9.95 a month, and then we kind of go up from there. The biggest difference is going to be your storage. And I said 10 gigabytes earlier, I meant 50. So it starts off at 50, then it goes to 75, and then it goes to 150. The bandwidth starts at 500 gigabytes, then it goes to 2,000 gigabytes, then it goes 2,000 gigabytes. And that's on a monthly basis for bandwidth. The bandwidth resets at the month, and no, you don't get credit for unused bandwidth. That's just kind of how that goes. Now, these are our first month price. After your first month, the first month's a trial period to see if you like it, if it works or not. So after your first month, you pay $19.95. It's $9.95 the first month and $19.95 a month going forward. Cancel anytime. We're going to be introducing some annual packages soon where you can keep that $9.95 a little bit longer, but you'll have to kind of wait and see when we launch that. And each one of these packages kind of the same deal. They have a trial price, and then they increase. They increase on up from there. And you can read more about this into our terms and stuff like that. And then you'll see, you can see the final price as you go along the flow. But this is $29.95 and then $39.95 as we go up the list. So $19.95, $29.95, and $39.95 after the trial period is over. But as you can still see, even still at the corporate rate, 150 gigabytes of storage, 2,000 gigabytes of bandwidth for $39.95 a month, that's still really good. And if you just want to get started with it, just go up the startup. $19.95 a month, $20 a month. That's less than $1 a day, and you get all those features and all those resources. And this is by far our most popular package, and that's why, because we have all those features in there. We offer all this, and it's unlimited. And I can't tell you how many customers we have that are really pleased on this. So I really hope you'll join us here at NameHero. I honestly and truly believe we're doing something really special in the web hosting industry by having packages like this and offering affordable, high-speed cloud web hosting like this. It's all managed, and we do the malware scans every night on WordPress, and we just make sure your account's protected, and we kind of take out all the guesswork that you may have. So if you have any questions on any of this, feel free to let me know. Feel free to reach out or comment on this video or send us a live chat or give us a call. We'd be happy to help you out. But thanks a bunch, everyone, and we look forward to having your business, and we appreciate those that are already doing business with us.